Good morning to you. The day is just beginning. There's so much to do. And good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, sweet Trixie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. The day's just beginning. There's so much to do. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Look out, Trixie girl. Trixie girl. Good morning to you. Good morning, Kippy. You gotta wake it up, Kippy. Go out and TT. Oh, go with you. Come on, Trixie. Come on. Good girl. Good boy. All right. And good morning, friends. And hi to hello. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys are off to a wonderful. Yes, Kippy survived the night. Kippy's fine. Let me move you a little bit closer. I feel like you're so far away. So my problem is I'm losing everything off the table here. Should probably come by and clean this table off at some point. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday morning. Tuesday, huh? I'm trying to think what's special about today. I know that tomorrow, Wednesday, is my son's soccer game, and they're excited because if they win, they go into the playoffs. If they lose, they're done. So I know he's excited about that. And I guess today is just kind of a normal day. Today's a normal day. The song that I sing in the mornings, the good morning song, is something that I learned one year that I had to do summer school, and I was teaching. Oh my gosh, I bet you it was probably kindergarten kids. I bet you it was. Now, I never taught kindergarten through a school year, but sometimes for summer school, they would assign you to wherever they needed you. And my boss, lady I just adore, you guys know how much I love my boss, worked for her for so long. Trivia question, how long did I work for her, and can you remember her name? I talked to her yesterday, actually, and such a wonderful, wonderful woman. But yes, so you're getting the years right. Worked for her for 25 years. Does anyone remember her name? That would be a heck of a question. Dr. Sanford, I cannot believe you guys remember that. Wow. You're so good to me. And no one, here's the thing, no one ever listens to me except for some of you guys. I love her. Guys, I sincerely love this woman. And I'll tell you what, I worked for her for a very long time. We're the same age. I found out yesterday, she sent me a message and says that, well, it's official. After 30 years, she's going to go ahead and retire. She and her husband are going to both retire the same year together and go ahead and enjoy some retirement years. And I told her what an amazing thing to do, how happy I was for her. And I also let her know that I was also retiring this year. Now, you guys know, because I've told you before, that even though I have not been inside the classroom in several years, I haven't driven a bus or worked for the school in, this is my 2 years, I have not been able to retire yet. But on my birthday this year, which is coming up in May, I will be eligible to retire with full benefits. That noise you hear, that thumping noise, is Kippy scratching. You have a flea bite? You have a bite? Can I help you, Kippy? Can I help you? So we're going to celebrate. She invited me to go eat. She and her husband will meet me and Janie somewhere, and we're going to go eat and talk and hang out and just celebrate our retirements together. She's not having a big shindig, you know, and it's the same way that I was. She just doesn't really care for the whole hurrah. She's not one of those kind of people who needs the big hurrah. It's been 30 years, and she was a teacher, a principal, and then, of course, upper administration. She worked with as directors of all kinds of stuff and just spent a career working with kids. But I'll tell you what, there's one thing about her that I will never forget. There's a lot of things about her that I will never forget. Never. She knew every single name, every school year. It was shocked me how this principal could come down the hall and know this kid and know this child and know this student, and she knew them all. I never knew how she could do that because as a classroom teacher, I sometimes couldn't learn all of my kids. I mean, I would, over the course of the school year, you would learn them all, but you know, you have 30 kids in each class, you have 6 or 7 classes, that's 200 plus kids. And it's, you know, it's hard to learn that many names, but she would know the entire school. But not only that, all of her teachers, she would know our kids. Hey, Lester, how's Ellie doing? And then things that you might would mention to her in passing. Well, Ellie's taking his exam today to, you know, whatever. She'd come back later and say, hey, how'd Ellie do on that exam that he took? She just was in tune with people. And I am convinced that a lot of her success in the 30 years that she spent in education was because she took the time to get to know people, and not just on a superficial level. She really wanted to know everything. She was a huge part of helping me get back on my feet after the Hurricane Harvey disaster. I mean, huge. She, very understanding, just such a relatable, wonderful boss. So she's retiring this year, and we talked for a while yesterday. It was really nice catching up with her. But no, that song that I sometimes sing in the morning is a song that I had to learn one year that she had me teaching kindergarten for summer school. Oh, those kids tore me up, y'all. Those kids tore me up. Yes, someone says Dr. Sanford is one of the good ones. Absolutely. Here's something else about Dr. Sanford. She didn't take mess from no parents. No. You may not know this, but in today's world, parents run the school. If you don't know what I mean by that, yeah, you may have your superintendent at the top. You may have all of your directors, then all of your principals. But you get a parent come up in there, and this parent wants to stomp their foot and raise their fist, and everybody cowers down to this parent. Nobody wants to ruffle any feathers, and everybody does just whatever this parent says. And that was a problem. That at some point you have a lot of parents just making their way and pushing their weight around the school. And Dr. Sanford, though, always held her ground. And so if you ever had a parent, here's an example. You ever have a parent come to the school and say, I want you to send Mr. Morrow, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Morrow, she's like, she was, hold on a minute. Have you told these things to Mr. Morrow? Have you had this conversation with Mr. Morrow? Well, no, but he told my student that, he told my kid that. She goes, hold on. Then we're going to call Mr. Morrow down, and you can talk to Mr. Morrow. Guys, you have no idea how many parents did not want to go to the source. They wanted to go to a back channel. They wanted to find a back channel into somebody's, get somebody in trouble through back channels. They never wanted to go to the source. But Dr. Sanford was always the kind of person to say, hey, if you have a problem with one of my teachers, then you have the courage for your child to go talk to that teacher. And she goes, I can promise you, you can resolve so many problems without coming to tattletale to me. And what a wonderful life lesson that is for us even today in real life. Don't back channel it. Go to the source. Is my coffee ready? Yeah, Dr. Sanford would send people right to the source, and so many conflicts could be avoided because parents would be forced to go to the source and not have a chance to go nitpick and tattletale. You know what she would also do? She would tell her teachers. Every year we'd have our faculty meetings, our staff meetings, and she would say, there's going to be things arise this school year that we're not going to see eye to eye on. She goes, if that happens, she goes, come knock on my door. Come inside and close the door behind you and let's sit down and talk about these things. She goes, because by doing that, we can solve these problems. But by you going to all of your friends down the hall, gathering everyone together in the teacher's lounge to talk about how upset you are about different things, you're not going to solve any problems that way. You will never solve a problem by whispering and telling your friends how angry you are. Instead, come to me. Let me know how upset you are. And she goes, we'll work on it together. So I could go on and on and on about this wonderful woman. But no, today I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Sanford. 30 years in education, and she's retiring this year. And so am I. Guess what? I will officially be an old man, y'all. I will officially be an old man. No matter how old I may look and how old I may feel and how much I limp around and hobble here and hobble there and ooh and all, poor me, poor me. This year, once I'm retired, I am officially old. So there. Coffee clinks to you all. Good morning. It's a little bit lighter than what I like. I put too much creamer, but I'm going to be able to do it. Thank you. Yeah, I like it a little bit darker than this, but when I poured my creamer, I put a little bit too much, and it is what it is. Good morning, friends, and congrats to Dr. Sanford. Absolutely. I look forward to us having dinner together. I will say, because I saw the person ask about it, did we ever date? Did you ever date her? No, I never dated her. I would have, absolutely. But here's the thing. I think Dr. Sanford's a beautiful woman. But have y'all ever had anybody in your life that just by happenstance, things never aligned? Things never aligned. So here's what I mean by that. Whenever I went through my divorce, oh my gosh, I was going to try to show y'all something happening outside. When I went through my divorce, Dr. Sanford was very happily married, and I knew her husband. He and I were also friends. We went to a lot of football games. The Texans are our local football team. We went to a lot of football games together. And so, no, I was going through a divorce, a hard time. And so, no, obviously, whatever. And then it just so happened that I told you guys that I was divorced for 7 years before I met my second wife. And so once I met her and we began to go out and then we got married and then Lex came, then guess what? Dr. Sanford. She went through a divorce. Of course, at that time now I'm married and she's going through a divorce. Okay. Anyway, we're friends through everything. We're friends and colleagues, and I'm also her. I work for her. But now you guys know that I was not with Maria for too long. I was with Ellie's mom for 14 years. But me and Lex, his mom, and I were only together for 7. And then by the time that Lex's mom and I went our separate ways, now Dr. Sanford had met somebody and had gotten married again. So no, the stars never aligned for us. The stars never aligned for us to go out or date or anything. I think that we probably would have had anything ever been different. But someone says I've never dated coworkers, and I have. I've dated some. But I think that the important thing about dating a coworker is you always have to understand that work comes first, and you know your work relationship cannot suffer because of anything else. A lot of people have differences of opinion. Oh no. So I'll say it again. If your internet seems to be buffering, let me check my signal right quick. It shows that everything is good on my end. So if your internet is buffering, it more than likely might be yours. Because, well, like I try to remind you guys, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Know-It-All, but you look at your internet, you look at your signal, and if you're having signal issues or audio issues, look at those comments above and below yours. And they will kind of let you know. You can read those other comments to know if it's on my end, because if it's on my end, a lot of people are going to be telling me. If it's on your end, then only you will know. So if there's only one person saying you're buffering, that would be your internet this morning, not mine. Everyone else says that we're good. All right, good. Okay. So this morning, we're not really in a rush this morning. It's Tuesday. We don't have a whole lot that we need to get home for necessarily. Jamie's working. But what I am going to do, and it's very foggy this morning. I'll show you how I'll show you how foggy it is out there. Let me take this camera off the tripod. It is an extremely foggy morning, which is fine. I can still see the pastures. The horses are all gathered up, ready to eat. But we will go out and feed our horses. I'll be letting Val out to eat to make sure she gets plenty. That poor Gemma, though, that poor Gemma is going to run over. I can tell you right now what she's going to do. She's going to run over. She's going to knock over her food bowl. And then she's not going to want to eat it off the wet grass. I don't know why she does that. I don't know how to stop it. So I will let her out, and then I will let Val out so she gets plenty. Roman and Rita will be fine. They will share together. They do so very wonderful together. Tal will hold his own. It's just going to be Gemma who's going to be quite the handful. And do you know what I'm already hearing? Oh my goodness gracious. Let me put my phone back. Do y'all remember, can you remember a year ago? Let's just go back to a year ago, when there were so many folks who were screaming and hollering and demanding that we move Rita along somewhere that she deserves better. And there were so many people who were insistent that we move Rita along. Rita deserves more than what we can give her. We're not capable of handling Rita. And I do feel like Rita has come so far this year, and she's just a blessing to work with. Well, guess what? Now we're starting to hear that same stuff about Gemma. Guys, knock it off already. Knock it off. We're not moving Gemma along. We will not move Gemma along. Just knock it off. If you guys see that stuff in the comments, remind them that it takes time and it takes patience. And when you don't just throw an animal off to somebody because you see it being a little bit unruly. And we're not going to send our horse off to obedience school. That's what I call horse trainers, obedience school. I will also say that I don't always agree with the tactics of horse trainers. I don't. I'm so sorry to say that, because there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to agree with me. But I'm not here to appease you. I'm here to talk with you. We're friends. But I'm just saying that I don't always agree with some of the tactics of horse trainers. Here's an example, and I'm not going to say any names. I will not say any names. Do you know that one of the tactics of a particular horse trainer is, if a horse like, let's just say a horse like Gemma is being unruly, they will literally tie that horse, halter, and then tie that horse up to a post. And when I say tie, I don't mean where there's slack in the line. That horse can move around and look and smell the ground. No, it's some kind of a control thing where they tie that horse right up to the post and leave it there for hours upon hours upon hours, where that horse has no movement whatsoever. Where now that particular horse has a little bit of a, if that horse decides to be a little bit unruly, then that horse knows there's a consequence. Guys, I'm sorry. I might be the worst horse owner of all time, but I am not going to send a horse off to someone who might take it and stick it up alongside a post in the pasture to teach it to calm down, to settle down, or listen to me or else. I'm not going to do that. And that is one of the gentle tactics. I mean, you know what? Hold on. I don't like the fact that the horses run around and they kick at and they bite at each other. Oh, that's Skippy. When we're trying to feed, it makes it difficult. But guys, I just can't see me sending one of the babies that I love off somewhere to have someone who's going to have that kind of mannerism. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So anybody who ever comes on here who starts saying you should send her to a trainer, she needs to be sent to someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah, there's a lot of people who know what they're doing. The same way a lot of people raise kids who may have raised wonderful kids or whatever else, but they don't share my feelings. And so, not going to do it, y'all. Not going to do it. And stop asking me to do it. Gemma, I hope over time can get more time and attention, and we'll be able to work with her more, and we'll eventually get there. She'll also get older and she'll mature. And then I don't mean to have you guys arguing in the comments. We're not trying to argue in the comments, guys. I just think that with Rita, if you remember when we took Rita out of the pasture with the other horses and put her over with the donkeys, it gave me time to spend with her every single day. And I made it my mission every morning to take Rita out and do something with Rita. It could be as simple as taking her on a lead and walking her into the barn, to brush her, to tinker around, to walk her, just to help her learn space and personal space. I've never, ever, ever had to actually spank her or put a spanky stick on her. Never. I have one and she bites it. She does. If I pull out my spanky stick, she bites it. She don't care because she knows I won't use it. But I'm not going to do that to that poor baby. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. So, all right, well, I will sip this cup of coffee and we'll get going. How about that? Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. So what are you guys saying this morning? I think that I'm not trying to knock horse trainers, but I think that horse people are like dog people, or like they all have their own different techniques. They have a technique. Lester, the fan's not on. What I have is the door open. You can hear the doors open. I'm letting Kippy and Trixie make their way back and forth if they need to. I think that horse people, just like dog trainers, have different techniques that they use. And I hope that you guys don't forget that your beloved Cesar Millan, don't forget how many lawsuits he's having to fight through right now because of some of his tactics. Things that you probably never saw. Y'all do know that I'm not making this up. Google it if you don't believe me. Google it. I know that you all think that Cesar Millan is an amazing guy with dogs, and he might do some amazing things, and I think that he has a lot of success stories. But what you don't know is what happens behind the scenes. And that's why Cesar Millan is having multiple lawsuits. His tactics, I'm sorry, but the lawsuits claim that his tactics were cruel. Cruel. So I'm not going to be that guy. Hey, is this true? I only saw this in a when I was watching the replay last night. But is it true that they found that vet who kicked the horse in the head dead? They found him dead in the lake? Can anyone tell me if that's verified or not? I'm just trying to see if anyone can verify that. Yes, he is dead. So now then my other question is over here. Was he murdered? Did someone murder him or did he kill himself? I'm just curious. Or does anybody know? I need glasses. They've not said yet. They have not said yet. So I guess they have not released that information. But they did find him dead, but they're not real sure yet if it was suicide in Lake Mead. That's what I read yesterday. Wow. Yeah. They don't know the cause of death yet. Well, I'll tell you what. My God. You know what? Even though that was not my horse, the same way that, that affected me seeing that. That affected me. It was just affected me, just the brutality of that. So I hate to see a guy, especially if he has a family. I hate to see a guy with a family be murdered or if he committed suicide. But that was a horrible, horrible act. And I can almost guarantee you, if he did it to that horse, he probably has done it to others. That may be his way of getting a horse to get up and move around. I don't know. But I tell you what, it was just brutal. Just brutal. I just don't know. No. Anywho's, guys, I am ready. If you're ready, then I'm ready. Let me throw on some tennis shoes right quick. Poor Kippy. Kippy does not understand where his best friend Lex is gone. But I will say he did real well last night. He slept right here with me. Not with me, but he slept in the living room here with Trixie. And in case you're wondering why I brought Trixie and not the other dogs, it's because the only dog who gets along with Kippy is Trixie. They're not best friends. They're not going to run along together and bark and play and do all those kind of things. But Trixie is not bothered by Kippy, and Kippy doesn't bother Trixie. So they coexist very well together. They coexist. And that's saying a lot. Hey, sweetie. She's like, you talking about me, Dad? Don't kiss me while I'm trying to tie my shoe. Sweetie, I'm tying my shoe. I'm trying to I'm trying to lean over and tie my shoe, and she's just licking me right in the face. She's just licking me in the face when I'm tying my shoe. See, she waits till I'm in a vulnerable position, then she attacks. Baby, why did you do that? She knows what she's doing. She knows what I'm doing. She waited till I was in a vulnerable position, and then she went for it. Okay, let's go ahead and get on out. All right, let's see what we got going on out here. Hey, girls, boys, good morning. Uh-oh, I just dropped my glasses. We do not want to lose these. I'm going to leave those sitting right there. Come on, Kippy, come on outside. Come on, Trixie. There we go. That little dog. Kippy, you're so little. Kippy's scratching a lot too. We might need to have to give Kippy a flea treatment. All right, let's have a look-see here. There's the horses. I see some cows up front doing their thing. Let me turn my water on first so that my float filler can go ahead and start filling my water up in the front pasture. There we go, right there. You guys know how I feel about leaving my water turned off for just in case scenarios. I turn off that water. I do not want to have an issue that someone breaks something and water goes all over the ground all night. Don't want to do that. Yeah, it's very foggy. The fog is not burned off this morning. All right, friends. Here's my white bucket. Here's all of my feed mixtures. Allow me to pour this up right quick, please. I'll be right back with you. Yes, Lex went back to his mom yesterday. So here's the thing. When Lex come over, he brought Kippy with him. And Kippy stayed there at the house, Longhorn Lester's, with Lex. But yesterday when I took Lex back to his mom, I did not take Kippy back to Plum Grove. I was in a hurry, and so I didn't do it. So I may run Kippy back today. Today's Tuesday. I might can run Kippy back to Plum Grove today. Not real sure. But Kippy's fine. Kippy does wonderful. We're not worried about Kippy. So our mixture is about 3/4 of a bucket of this soft grain, and then 1/4 of the bucket of the arthritis supplement. And then I take the said bucket and I shake it. And as you shake it, you can see all of this grain kind of getting itself all mixed together. And that's also a wonderful workout. I know that's not, if that's what I call a workout. Come on, Kippy. Oh no, Kippy can't jump because that table behind him. Hold on, Kippy, I'll back up a little bit. You made it? Don't worry, friends, Kippy made it. Hanging out with Lecter? Hanging out with Uncle Lecter? You're sweet, Kippers. You're sweet, Kippers. All right, here we go. Come on, Tricksers. Kippy's not even my dog. All right, how are we gonna do this? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. How does one even do this? I don't even know where to start. Golly gee. I don't even know where to start, Kippy. Oh, Lord. Where does one even start here? Oh, I don't want to deal with the drama. All right, I'm going to put you guys in this really colorful, octopus-looking tripod. And I'll set you all right here. Not the best place to put you. How about right over here? You guys be sweet, okay? I'm coming. Rita, be sweet to Roman. I'm going to feed Rita and Roman over here along this fence. Roman, don't knock the tripod off, please. Rita and Roman get a lot. Roman, don't knock my hat off my head, sir. Here, Roman, back up. Rita, that's for you and Roman right there. All right, that's for Rita and Roman. They can eat right there. Rita, can you come share with Roman? Don't mess with my phone, Rita. Don't mess with Rita, don't mess with the phone. I'm trying to get Rita to share with Roman and not mess with my phone. There we go. Well, I think that you all can see one minor situation that we're having here. One minor situation, y'all, it's just minor, is the fact that Rita, she didn't run Roman off. Roman chose to walk off, but that left Rita with a lot of food. I think that what's happening is Roman is just curious what everyone else has in their bowl. So Roman is going from bowl to bowl to bowl to see what everybody has. And he's gonna gobble up whatever he can, and then he'll go to the next bowl. The only problem with that is it's gonna leave Rita eating more than what she needs. And that's my only concern with Rita, her getting too much. Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful girl. All right. That's a pretty girl right there, y'all. That is a pretty girl. Yes, we love her. All right. Everything is fine here. Let's have us a quick peek into our cattle pasture up front, our bullpen, as we call it. Have a peek into the bullpen. Oh no, looky here. So what's happened is Gemma has run over and pushed Rita off of the big food trough. Now Rita's moved down. Roman has shifted. Talus is moving to another food trough, which there's no more food troughs in there. And so at some point, Talus is gonna have to run over there and move Gemma off of that food trough. It's like musical chairs, except you're doing it with food troughs. Yes, the dominoes are beginning to fall. The only thing that I don't like about this is the extra grain that we put in the first food bowl is the one that we were hoping that Roman and Rita would get, because they normally share together. But today they're not sharing as much. Roman's not being mean to Rita, I don't think, because remember, it was Roman that left. Now, is Rita being mean to Roman? I don't know. I didn't see it happen. Maybe you did. But now Talus is running back trying to find something left to eat. At some point, Gemma is the one who's getting way too much food. She's getting way more than what she needs. I don't know. All right, let me try to unzoom a little bit and walk over here and just kind of look over the gate into one of our cattle pastures, just to let you guys know what's going on this morning. The rain did leave a little bit of mud, but not near as bad as we had it before. By bringing that extra dirt in, we were able to solve all of our mud problems over here. We only have a little bit of standing water along this side and along the fence. So we probably do still need 3 or 4 more loads of dirt. More sand, though, not clay, sand, to build this up nice. But as of now, we don't, and we're fine. I was actually surprised. I thought we were going to get a lot more rain than what we got. You know, we got 7 inches over at Longhorn Lester's, but not near that much over here, which is fine. I'm not saying that we needed it. And then we also heard it was going to be rainy every day. So not like all day, every day, but it was going to have chances of rain every day for the next 2 weeks. So we weren't real sure what to expect. But the cows look wonderful. I'll try to zoom in a little bit for you without getting too shaky. They're off in the distance over there, making their way out across the pasture. Ruby Sue is here at the hay ring, having her little bite of the hay. All right, guys, we got one more group to go peek at, and those are our cows out back. But these guys are fine. I have their water, the bubble, filling up on their water now, the float filler. So I'll turn that back off when I come back up. I'll also put Val away when I come back up. Val's going to be fine till I get back. I'll swing by real fast and check on her just in case. See how close she is to finishing. She might be about finished, and we may go ahead and wait. How you looking, girl? How you looking? You got a few more bites left? Let's just go ahead and wait, friends, if y'all don't mind. Let's just wait her out. Let's just wait her out. I'm gonna turn you around. We're gonna go ahead and give her, if I have a brush in here with me, we'll give her a little bit of a brush down. I got my handy brush kit. Yes, I do. Sorry, Gemma, you got run off your food, sweetie. Val, look. Val, look, I have a brush. Sorry, Gemma. We do love you, sweetie. I'll tell y'all something funny that was said last night. I was reading the comments, and remember last night whenever I said, I don't know if you watched the live last night, but I said that Jamie's gonna try to fight me for her tooth and nail. I don't even know what that means, but Jamie's gonna fight me for her tooth and nail is what I said. And then somebody in the comments said that Jamie doesn't have a trailer that will haul her, nor does Jamie have a truck that will pull her. So Jamie's gonna be SOL, if you know what that means. Jamie is SOL when it comes to a girl the size of Val. Sorry, Jamie, if you're watching. Jamie, if you're watching this morning, I'm sorry, but that actually is a pretty good point. Jamie, sorry, I don't mean it in a mean way, but the truth of the matter is, you do not have a trailer that can load her, and you don't have a truck that'll pull her. I thought that was one clever way of seeing it. One lady thought she was pretty clever by reminding Jamie that if push comes to shove and we both have to end up fighting for Val, Jamie has no way to haul her and no truck to pull her. That is true. All right, you're all done. That was good timing, y'all. That was great timing. Come on, don't eat that off the ground. You had enough. Come here. Hurry before Gemma comes back. Come on. Come on, hurry before Gemma comes back. If we can hurry, we can get inside of our gate. Y'all, hold on one sec. Come on. All right, go be a good girl, okay? Go be a good girl today. And look out for Gemma. She's coming this way. I do love you. I hope you enjoyed that rubbing this morning, that scratching. And I hope you enjoyed having a full belly. All right, everything is good. Val is back in. She had plenty. Okay, poor Gemma. Scoot over, Kippers. Scoot over. I'm coming on with you. All right, my brush is back in the... Move over, Kippies. Come on, Trish. We're going to drive down back out. Drive out back and have a peek, okay? Someone says over here, Jamie can just have her transported. That is true. That is true. But don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my only argument. You finally made it back to the big bowl, I see. And look, while we were gone, look what Gemma did. Gemma spilt that food all over the ground, and now it's a nasty, muddy, mucky mess. Gemma, why does she do those kind of things? I don't get her. She must have some kind of issue about eating out of the bowl. She doesn't want to eat out of the bowl. I don't get her for anything. It doesn't matter if you have a feed trough that you can hang or the kind that sits off the ground. Gemma just likes to have it on the actual ground. I'm not going to bore you guys with filling up the waters. I'll let you all go as soon as we swing by this last group of longhorn out here in the back. And we say our good mornings to them. I have to mow this pasture. It's growing up really thick. Which I know the cows don't mind. And part of the reasoning for me to cut it was to have the grass choke out the weeds. But I do believe the grass may choke the weeds out on their own without me having to cut back any. Now there's some thistle over here. You can see that thistle. I don't like that stuff. So I may have to kind of like spot mow here and there. Good morning, ladies. Good morning to all my sweet girls. Danny, you want to come over for a song? Danny's like, I'm trying to make friends. Don't embarrass me, Dad. Don't embarrass me. I'm making friends with all of the real cows. All right, Danny, go ahead and make friends. I'll leave you alone. Danny's like, don't show me any special treatment because they're going to all talk about me and call me a goody-goody. Danny does not want to be called a goody-goody. Have y'all ever had children who kind of do that? You love your kids so much, but they want to pull away from you when they're around their friends. So as their friends don't think differently of them. Danny's going through that stage right now. Danny is in that stage where she loves her daddy and she would love to have herself a muffin. Guys, you know that she would love a muffin. Oh, she'd love herself a muffin right now. But she's trying to be cool. She's trying to be one of the cool kids hanging out there with Jenny Lane, the makeup artist. She's like, if I hang out with Jenny Lane, this girl can do makeup. We can go places. Me and Jenny can go places. Well, I hope you ain't planning on running off to Hollywood, baby. Bad things happen there. And then Jezebel looking at me. Does Jezebel look like she's losing weight to you all? Does Jezebel look skinny? Pearl, who is normally the one we call old skinny butt, doesn't have a rib showing. She looks wonderful. So it makes me a little bit shocked to see why would Jezebel, who normally is roly-poly, be looking a little bit thin. Especially in the spring where there's so much grass, so much nutrition out here on these pastures. Because you see Dolly, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to call her what I normally call her. You can say it if you want to. If you say it, I'll say it. But I will not say it first. Dolly, I'm going to ask if anyone's going to say it before I have to say it. Her nickname, Fat Dolly. Okay, fine. Fat Dolly. Fat Dolly looks great. Reba looks great. I think that they're all looking okay. But remember, guys, I'm the guy who wears love goggles or rose-colored glasses, whatever you guys call them. And I don't see them the Chunky Dolly. Chunky Dolly. Fluffy Dolly. I've always just called her Fat Dolly. I don't know why. But no, I think that everyone looks fine. But I tell you, I have not had that feed buggy. There's been no grain in that feed buggy for at least 2 or 3 weeks. At least. And that means they've been doing everything off of the pastures. And that's the way it's supposed to be, y'all. That's the way it's supposed to be. You supplement in the winter months when there's not as much grass. You give hay and you give grain when there's not as much grass. But I think to myself that maybe I had them all a little bit overweight. So what you're seeing right now is them just dropping down to their normal weight, probably a healthier weight, a working class weight. I don't know. But no, if I just by standing here from this distance, the only one who I says she might be a little bit thin in the behind would be Jezebel. Jezebel's the only one who I think might be a little bit thin in the behind area. Everyone else looks great. There's our sweet Calamity Jane right there in front of us. Martha says, Dolly's what you call a thickum. A thick one. A thickum. Yep, she's a thickum, all right. So, all right. Well, friends, I think that what I'll do is just let you guys go right here. It's a beautiful view to end the live on. I've had you for almost an hour. I want to say thank you for taking the time to hang out with me this morning and have a cup of coffee, talk about the things that we talked about, my boss, horse training, Gemma. You took time to feed the horses with me. We was able to see Val get her a full belly, which I love that. Had a peek at the cows. Someone says, wait, what about Chuck? What about Chuck? What about Chuck? We were right there at the gate. Chuck did not walk over. I hate to go chase him down. If Chuck's out on the pasture hanging out with his friends, Winter Waylon and Prince Willie Joe, and the girl he's hanging out with is Marilyn, I hate to go bother him. But no, Chuck is absolutely a part of the gang now, guys. He's one of them. And it's kind of like whenever your kids get off and start finding friends, they slowly begin to kind of pull apart from you. It's sad to say, but it is a kind of a fact of life. And then you guys know that we've cut back a whole lot on our muffins. We've gone through all those muffins you guys sent over here. You guys sent so many muffins and we've gone through them. I have a couple of boxes left. You see the white birds? So someone says, why are all the white birds? The white birds actually are what do they call that? A host. No, the cows are the host and the white birds eat the ticks, the fleas, the gnats, the flies. Having a lot of those white birds flying around is the best thing you can do for your cows to help keep them insect and pest free. So we love the white birds. I do believe you call them egrets. So anyway, it's hard to see here in the grass. There's a whole lot of white birds right there on the ground walking alongside. And you'll catch those white birds on their back. They'll set up on their horns. Those white egrets will perch themselves wherever they need to. And they'll just sit there and have a feast off of all of the flying insects that harass our cows. And then as what I'm doing right now, and I don't really make a note of it, but I see it myself, I watch the tails. And you see a little bit of swishing going on, but for the most part, you can watch a cow, and if that tail's not swishing like crazy, you know they're not being bothered. They're not being bothered right now. Our cows are not being bothered by insects. And so we're still looking good. So if I was to walk out here and see tails going crazy and insects all over them, and then we would have to end up doing something. But we have a plan in place for how we're going to attack our insects when they start getting bad. But as of now, we're looking good. All right, friends. Well, I could ramble on and on. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me this morning. Thank you for loving and accepting Kippy. Kippy's a good girl, a good boy. Kippy's a good boy. And guys, we're going to go ahead and let you guys go right there. We love you so much. Hope you have a wonderful, just such a wonderful day. Thank you, Judy. Who's that? Judy? I lost it, guys. I lost it. Judith Reed Green. You didn't have to do that, sweet lady. You don't have to do that, but thank you so very much. I promise y'all, put it to wonderful use. Thank you. Guys, y'all have a fun day. We love you so much. Blessed to have you, and I can't wait to see you guys on a little bit later video.